What's up, gang? Today is day 51. If I'm not mistaken, I totally could be wrong on the date because I didn't check YouTube and I forget every day. But today is day 51 of being sober from the weed. We don't need that shit, dude. So congrats, no matter what. Someone commented the other day, hopefully you watched this video. They said that they were on day 2 and they thanked me for, making these videos and the advice and everything and the value that I'm giving. And even though I haven't responded to that comment, I did see it, and I want to say I am very grateful for your comment and beyond grateful to help you through this journey. I can tell you for sure the first week is going to be the most difficult, and the more that you do it, the further you get out from this. Week 2 becomes easier, week 3 becomes even easier than that. Once you make it past the second week, you really stop craving it at all, and then it just becomes something that you just work on every single day, and it becomes less of a force that you feel like you need to do day by day. So excuse me, first and foremost, I want to thank you for your comment and for the genuineness of that, and for everybody else that comments and is kind. And I'm all about spreading love and doing my best to give as much value as I can, while explaining and showing the process of my journey. Right now I'm on the road to go to UPS real quick. I got 2 packages to drop off, one for me and one for my homie, for DVDs that we're selling and shipping out. And I just want to say today's topic is about the power of saying no. And so my girl just asked me if I wanted to go to UPS, or what am I talking about? If I wanted to go to the gym. And as much as I want to go to the gym, I really do, I feel like I've been slacking on the gym. I really only have the time right now to go to the gym on Fridays, maybe if I'm lucky, but Saturday and Sunday, because Sunday is a complete day off that I don't do any actual work on the business. Saturday, I can definitely make time to go to the gym while still working on the business a little bit, because I believe in, working 5 to 6 days a week and having at least Sunday fully for rest. And rest can be different things for everybody. For me, I don't consider working out not resting, because it's just, to me, I don't view working out as something that's actual work. It's something I do enjoy. However, I really want to go to the gym right now. It's about 5:53 when I'm making this video. It'll probably be 6:30, 6:25 by the time I get back home. But I just have to lock in and spend as much time as I humanly possibly can on scanning items in for Amazon. I don't have the luxury right now to enjoy life as people would like to think that they can when you're growing a business. I would much rather, and I thought that I've put in so much time already into different businesses, but that's the issue, is they've been into different businesses, and I've self-sabotaged myself so many times to where I've lost any compound effect that I would have had if I would have kept doing one particular business and stuck with it, and have been doing that for the last 5-10 years. So I've done a lot of things, a lot of work. I've put in a lot of effort the last 5 to 10 years, but on so many different things that it doesn't matter because it has not compounded. And there's been so many things that I've stopped and started again, to where I've never been able to really see any compound effect. And so I would rather spend the next 5-10 years of my life grinding and really busting ass and getting to where I want to be, so that I can set myself up to truly be free from there on out, truly get to experience what it's like to have true freedom, and to literally just be able to travel and have money that comes in regardless, without me working as hard, from investments and from having a business self-sustain itself and be able to run itself on its own. And I'm nowhere near that goal. I'm nowhere near that section of my life to where I can just lay back and say, whoop-de-doo, I've done it. And even when I'm able to slow down on the work and still make more money than I am now without working as hard, because I'll have people working for me, I'm still not just going to be, it's time to sit on a beach forever. Like, I want to travel, I want to experience things, but I'm always going to be doing something. I'm always going to be having other passions, like streaming or YouTube or social media in general, and just making more lifestyle content that I would love to do, while seeing what the world has to offer, because there's so much that this world has to offer that if you don't have the money to experience it, you never will experience it. They say money doesn't buy happiness, but I promise you, if you have money, you're going to be a lot happier than if you don't have money. And that's not because money is God, money is the most important thing, because it's not. But money does buy freedom, money does buy experiences, and so many things in this world cost money. There's very little in this world that doesn't cost money. Even if I wanted to go do something like hiking out west, where there's tons of dope ass hiking trails, I first have to pay for the money and the travel to stay there and the hotel and all that. It still costs money, even if hiking is considered free. And there's even parks that you have to pay to go in. So there's also that. And that's this little side tangent. So it's like, you have to be able to say no to the fun now, to the what you could do. Maybe you have, you know, let's just say you have $1,000. Sure, you could go spend $100 or $200 and have fun, but then what? You know, it's like if you do that once a month or every 2 weeks or however much money you're making, and you just keep spending that money, then you're just setting yourself back from the progress you could be making, instead of reinvesting that money into the business to where one day you never have to work, versus you just having the fun now and then continuing to have to work because you keep setting yourself back, instead of the delayed gratification. And it's hard, and I'm finally at 30 years old just realizing how important delayed gratification is. You know, I'm still gonna have bad days, I'm still gonna have great days, you know, it doesn't really matter, because ultimately everything with time will pass. And so what I need to focus on, and what I am focusing on, is the delayed gratification aspect, and focusing on the business now, putting in the work and figuring out how to enjoy it, finding enjoyment in this journey, not just viewing the destination as the end goal, but enjoying the process along the way. Because if you don't enjoy the process, you're going to get burnt out, you're going to become miserable, and you're going to end up hating your life. And so it's so crucial to learn to enjoy the process. However, the process of becoming rich and financially wealthy and doing all of these different steps throughout your business requires delayed gratification. It requires you to say no to a large majority of things and say yes to what actually moves the needle and what makes you money. Therefore, you can't be doing, as I made a video the other day, you can't do a million things a day. You have to learn to say no and be like, I don't actually need to do that. I need to remove this from my life. I need to remove that from my life. I need to get this away from me. Because all it's doing, even if it's fun or enjoyable, it's setting you back. Like, I want to stream every night. And when I first started streaming, I was streaming every night, 2 to 3 hours a night. And that's so much time that I was not spending on my business. You know, if I don't spend my time on my business, then I am never going to get where I want to get, to where I can afford to stream 4 or 5 hours a day, because I have money already coming in, to where I don't have to worry about money, one, and then eventually, because I won't have the stress of needing to make money, the money will come with streaming too, and then that will be another source of income. The money is coming with YouTube slowly. I know in 2026 I'm finally going to get monetized, because I'm finally providing value and adding, you know, more than just me, but being more, even though I'm showing my journey, I'm giving advice on my journey, which there in turn helps other people. And so it is value. It does help people. Therefore, YouTube is pushing my content finally. Even if I'm only getting 1,000 views here or 1,000 views here on long form content, I've never had consistent views like I have now, ever. And it's because I've always self-sabotaged myself, and I've always, you know, I've always gotten complacent or self-sabotaged or gave up because I didn't see the future in it, because I didn't realize I wasn't focused on the compound effect and the delayed gratification, wanting it now instead of enjoying the journey of what it's going to be like one day, when I can look at all the videos I've posted and where it's gotten me, all the, you know, all the effort that I'm putting in will pay off, and it will all pay off for you too. But you have to be willing to put in the work now, and you cannot want it now, because everything doesn't happen overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day. The pyramids were not built in a day. Everything takes time. And if you're not willing to accept that and enjoy the journey along the way, and you want it right now, you're never going to be able to find true peace and happiness, because you're always going to be wanting it instantly. You're always going to want the instant gratification rather than being able to delay the gratification. And so I promise you, the power of saying no is so fucking crucial, because if you're not able to say no, you're going to continue to have the satisfaction now. You're going to go ahead and try to have the instant gratification, or delayed, what am I saying? Delayed gratification. You're going to try to have the instant gratification of doing things now that may not be benefiting you long term, like, you know, going and spending $100 or $200 on a small little trip, or going and shopping and buying shit that you're not even going to care about in 5 months or even 5 weeks, you know, stuff that you're just going to forget about because all it is stuff. It's just stuff. And so, where is this fucking, okay, this person on this little dirt bike was behind me, backing up to UPS right now. And so ultimately, the point that I'm trying to make is, you have to be okay with where you're at now. You have to be able to say no to the things that you want to do, because you have to know that what you're working on is not only going to pay off in the future, but every time that you take time away and you say yes to things that, even if it's benefiting you, working out, going to the gym, it benefits me, okay? It does help me. But I can choose to go to the gym Saturday and Sunday and do a workout at home. It's a choice, and I can do a 10 or 15 minute workout at home and stretch and not spend the extra 20 minute, 30 minute in drive time, which is wasted time that I could have to my business. I could be dropping off packages. I could be scanning, which is what I'm going to do. And when I get back home, instead of going to the gym, it's not to say that you can't do things that you want to do, but you need to learn to do them less, and you need to learn to say no when you have all these people wanting you to do all these things, like friends wanting you to hang out, or, you know, go to the movies or go out to eat. You have to think about the consequences of all these things, no matter how little or big they are, and how they're going to affect where you're going to be 10 years from now. And if you put in the work now and you truly lock in and focus on something that is going to make you a millionaire, something that is going to build you a financial money machine, a financial, truly provide financial freedom, that is how you're going to get to a point to where then one day in the future, you don't ever have to worry about checking your bank account, and you don't have to say no to everything, because then you are set up for life. You have put yourself in a position that you have earned and you deserve, because you have put in the work now, rather than making excuses and always doing the things that don't move the needle versus doing the things that do move the needle. So ultimately, the point of this video is learning to say no, the power of saying no. And there's so many people, and myself included, we'll just say me, I'm so bad at saying no to things because I want to do them, and then I feel bad for saying no. But you can't care about feeling bad. You can't care about how your decisions of saying no affects other people, because ultimately, even though it's important to be selfless, you have to be selfish to get to a point to where you can always be selfless. And ultimately, you will never get there if you're always saying yes to everything. So the power of saying no is so crucial, so important. Learn to say no. Learn to accept and enjoy the journey, not the destination, and learn to work on delayed gratification, and that everything that you push off now, you will be able to still do 5, 10, 15 years from now. Your life is not going to end. Life is not going to be miserable when you get older. And you can learn to enjoy the process now, so that you're not going to even feel bad about making the decisions and saying no to the things you're doing, because everything that you're doing now is going to set you up and create that financial freedom loop and really give you the life that you know that you dream of. However, if you do not do that, you will never earn it, you will never deserve it, and you will always wonder why 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, 40 years from now, on your deathbed, whatever, why you never got to the point of having true freedom and living the dream life that you want. And it's because you were not able to say no now and push all of those things that you want now into the future, to when you can truly afford them and truly have the freedom to enjoy them. God bless. Power of saying no. You must learn to say no. Say no, and focus on the present, and focus on building something that will change you and your family's life forever. God bless, and we'll see you tomorrow.